Shalom. Apostle Tahar coming back at you with the truth, giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem Shai Hashem Kodash. This is a video that I came across put up by Holy Bible Defenders entitled Vocabs, Christmas Jolly Bad Santa, Less Child Dangerous Christmas Christianism. I didn't listen or watch the whole video, but I just clicked it from the beginning. I'm gonna make this a short video, just nothing long. Well, let's see where the Spirit takes me anyway.
That is a clip from the Jeremiah 10 passage. Reiterate what you said there and add new information as well, if you can, Michael.
Right. So what they're basically trying to say is that it kind of sounds like they're decorating a Christmas tree. Someone cuts down a tree, decorates it with gold and silver. The problem with that is that they just sort of stop right there and they don't keep reading past it, where they basically point out this is idol crafting. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of research to point that out. I have not found one scholar, one Hebraic scholar or ancient Near Eastern scholar who has ever suggested this is clearly decorating of a Christmas tree. Every scholar on Jeremiah 10 has noted this is about fashioning idols out of wood. It was a common tradition back then.
That's all I need to see. So he's saying that if you put up a Christmas tree, you're a Christian, it's not pagan. Well, what does a Christmas tree have to do with Christianity? When did the Lord put up a tree? When did the Lord tell his disciples to put up a tree? Where in the scriptures does it say that the Lord was born on December 25th? And I'm going to show you, this is from the historychannel.com or history.com. You have a cable station called the History Channel. Okay, let's go through it. Okay. The history of Christmas trees goes back to the symbolic use of evergreens in ancient Egypt and Rome, and continues with the German tradition of candlelit Christmas trees first brought to America in the 1800s. So it mentioned Egypt. It should have mentioned Assyria, and it mentioned Rome. Rome, we're talking about pagan Rome. And we're talking about pagan Egypt. I'm surprised it didn't say anything about the Assyrians and the Babylonians, which the Babylonians are Assyrians. Meaning the king of Babylon was an Assyrian, not a Cushite. The seven back at 1 West said that the Nebuchadnezzar was a Cushite. He wasn't a Cushite or a so-called African. He was an Assyrian. Anyway, let's how did the Christmas tree start? I might come back to this. Okay, let's read this. In the Northern Hemisphere, the short the shortest day of the longest night of the year falls on December 21st, which is known as the winter solstice, or December 22nd, and it's called the winter solstice. Let me just click on that. Let's see what it says. The winter solstice is the shortest day and the longest night of the year in the northern hemisphere. It takes place between blah 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 December 20 and 23rd, depending on the year. The reverse is true in the southern hemisphere, where the shortest day of the year occurs in June. Ain't no microchip. I throw that in there. Cultures around the world have long held feasts and celebrated holidays around the winter solstice. Yeah, they even say that the Lord was born during this time period, which is not true. He wasn't born. There's nothing in the scriptures that said he was born on December 25th. Fire and light are traditional symbols of celebration held on the darkest day of the year. It says the winter solstice is the day of the year with the fewest hours of daylight, and it marks the start of astronomical winter. After the winter solstice, days start becoming longer and nights shorter as spring approaches. Humans may have observed the winter solstice as early as Neolithic, which means new stone, period. The last part of the Stonehenge, beginning in about 10,200 BC, according to them. This is all pagan. Neolithic monuments such as Newgrange in the island and what is that, Mere Shaw, I hope I said that right, in Scotland are aligned with the sunrise on the winter solstice. Some archaeologists, that means study of the old, if you didn't know, study of old, have theorized that these tomb-like sculptures serve a religious purpose in which Stone Age people held rituals to capture the sun on the year's shortest day. Pagan. Stonehenge, which is oriented toward the winter solstice sunset, may also have been a place of December ritual for Stone Age people, all pagan. Let's come back. Let me finish reading this. Okay, many ancient people believed that the sun was a god. So that whole Christmas thing and Christ being born on Christmas Day in the manger, they don't even understand what the whole manger thing was about. It says many ancient people believed that the sun was a god. The Egyptians called the sun god, the sun Ra, and that winter came every year because the sun god had become sick and weak. These are your origins of the Christmas tree and Christmas. It says they celebrated the solstice because it meant that at last the sun god will begin to get well. Evergreen boughs or trees reminded them of all the green plants that would grow again when the sun god was strong and summer would return. So they equated this sun god, the pagan sun god, to the Christ. So your Christianity, vocab Malone, is nothing more than a paganism. The ancient the ancient Egyptians worshiped a god called Ra, which is the sun. Who had the head of a hawk and wore the sun as a blazing disc in his crown. Your origins of your Christian, your Catholic origins go back to these pagan gods, these pagan rituals. Like for example, you have the Pope with a funny looking hat on his head that if you look at it, it looks like a big fish on top of his head with the fish's mouth open, wide open. And that's an actual fish. That goes back to the fish god Dagon. And Dagon is Hebrew for Dagon is Hebrew for fish. So, these uh, Roman Catholic and Christian rituals, I'll say, all go back to pagan rituals, man. There's nothing in the scriptures that speak about the Lord putting gold and silver and gifts under the tree. That's not scriptural. So your Christianity is not even Christian. The true Christians are the Israelites. In the book of Acts, mentioned first in the book of Acts. When Ra began to recover from his illness, the Egyptians filled their homes with green palm rushes, which symbolized for them the triumph of life after death. Early Romans, pagan Romans, marked the solstice with a feast called Saturnalia. Let's deal with Saturnalia. Saturnalia, held in mid-December, is an ancient Roman pagan 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 festival honoring the agricultural god Saturn. Saturn. A Saturnalian is a person that worships Saturn, which is a god, a pagan god. Saturnalia celebrations are the source of many of the traditions we now associate with Christmas. What is Saturnalia? Saturnalia, the most popular holiday on the ancient Roman calendar, which over here in America, in the States, the most popular day, not holiday. They say holiday means holy day. There's nothing holy about this calendar, derived from older farming related rituals of midwinter and the winter solstice, especially the practice of offering gifts or sacrifices to the gods with an S, during the winter sowing season. So Christians are really praying to pagan gods that they put, they'll put Christ, which really goes back to Ra, which really goes back to Egypt. The pagan celebration. Do you Christians know that? Do you know that? This is why vocab, he had this guy come on and he said, none of the scholars say that this has anything to do with the modern day Christmas. Well, it is. And that's why we go to Jeremiah 10. It's talking about that tree that goes back to the worshiping of, goes back to the Assyrians, the Babylonians, and the Egyptians. It had expanded to a week-long festival beginning December 17 on the Julian calendar, which the Romans used at the time. The winter solstice fell on December 25th. So what is Christmas Day? It's the solstice. The solstice is really on the 21st, 22nd. But it goes back to pagan origins. How the Romans, pagan Romans, celebrated Saturnalia. During Saturnalia, work and business came to a halt. Right. You go out right now. It's 12:56 a.m. and it's the 25th of December. Everything gonna be closed. Why? Because it goes back to this pagan ritual. It says how the Romans celebrated Saturnalia. So really, really you should be going around not saying a Merry Christmas. You're supposed to be saying Happy Saturnalia Day. Happy Saturnalia. Did you Christians know this? You Christians don't know a motherfucking thing. Word to your mother. You know a goddamn thing. That's why when you come up, you get a spiritual ass whipping every goddamn time. That's why you got to get guys. He's a half a scholar. Half a scholar. This guy vocab. You know, he's learning on the job, so to speak. The guy talking about hey, none of the scholars ever equated the Christmas tree with the pig. Oh boy, okay, all right. That's why we don't want to talk to you. We think you're a fucking clown, a complete clown. And you Christians do not know the scriptures. Point blank, period. End of sentence. It says during Saturnalia, so you shouldn't be saying Merry Christmas. You should be saying Happy Saturnalia Day. Okay? Happy Saturnalia Day. What are you talking about? It's Christmas. Nope. It's Happy Saturnalia Day. It's and you know what I would do? I'm gonna change the title. I'm gonna call it Happy Saturnalia Day. It's during Saturnalia, work and businesses came to a halt. Schools and courts of law closed. Right, you don't got to go to school. You have a winter recess, and the normal social patterns are suspended. The banks are not open. Walmart is not going to be open. Staples is not going to be open. Burger King is not going to be open. Wendy's is not going to be open. And I may just do a video on that. Well, we already know that. Everything, pretty much everything is going to be closed. Now, you might find a diner. So tomorrow I'll probably be eating diner food because everything else is closed. Gas stations will be open. You need gas. Anyway, it says people decorating their homes with wreaths and other greenery and shed their traditional togas in favor of the colorful clothes known as, what is it, synthesis? The colorful clothes. And there's a tradition now where you get these sweaters, ugly Christmas sweaters, or whatever it's called. Edomites are heavy into that. Even slaves did not have to work during Saturnalia. And that's true. And they gave you an extra piece of pork, but were allowed to participate in the festivals in some cases. Because niggas love Christmas. They love Easter. They love Thanksgiving. They love Christmas. They love Halloween. They love all those days. All those because they love their master. They love their master more than the master loved himself. They said, we sick, we sick. Anyway, it says, but were allowed to participate in the festivals. They didn't beat you on that day. They didn't beat you, nigga. We know you're supposed to beat your ass for what you did. But it's Christmas, and we ain't gonna beat you. We'll wait until next week and beat your ass. In some cases, hey, the same thing's gonna apply in the kingdom. When the Sabbath comes, we can't beat your ass. We can't work you in the field. You get a day off. They said they sat at the head of the table while their masters served them. Nigga, I'm gonna make you feel special. On your job, you get your Christmas bonuses. I don't have to read no more, but I will read a little bit more. Instead of working, Romans spent Saturnalia gambling, singing, playing music, opening up gifts, feasting. You get that Christmas ham and that Christmas turkey, socializing and giving each other and giving each other gifts. This is what y'all do. Wax taper candles called, what is this? I hope I'm saying this right. Serai or Seri were common gifts during Saturnalia, or Happy Saturnalia Day, to signify light returning after the solstice. That's why you put a lot of different colorful lights on the tree. You put it all on your houses. That's all pagan. This so-called Christmas thing has nothing to do with true Christianity. It's nothing but paganism, old pagan ritual. On the last day of Saturnalia celebration, known as the Sigillaria, many Romans, but this is Rome all over again, second Rome, gave their friends and loved ones small terracotta figures known as Signallaria, whatever you have to say it, which may have referred back to older celebrations involving human sacrifices. So you want to really celebrate the true Christmas, which is Saturnalia Day, you got to kill motherfuckers, man. Word up. You got to kill people. And on Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, the meal was ills. Don't be getting no turkeys no more. Get you some ill and cut the ill up and cook it, fricassee it. Saturnalia was by far the jolliest Roman holiday. This right here proves that this is Rome all over again. The Roman poet Catullus famously described it as the best of times. So riotous were the festivals that the Roman author Pliny reportedly built a sunproof room so that he could work during the ruckus celebrations. I don't have to read anymore. Temple of Saturn and other Saturnalia customs. Construction in the 4th century AD to replace an earlier temple, the Temple of Saturn in Rome served, and Saturn goes back to the sun, Ra. Egyptian ritual, the celebration of Ra, served as the ceremony center of latter Saturnalia celebrations. On the day of the festival, a young pig would often be publicly sacrificed at the temple. Where did that go back to? Antiochus Epiphanes, which was located in the northern quarter of the Roman Forum. Because the customs of the Romans they got from the Greeks. don't have to read anymore. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.